TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Monday Morning Digest. We welcome you to join us today. We are having a very, very interesting conversation, and this is a close, day, the 2022 elections on the 9th of August 2022. And as always, Monday morning, we digest matters politics, economizing on the matters of politics. I have a special...
I had a very peaceful and...
TV, we have Elevate TV Kenya Facebook page, YouTube channel. I'm making sure I have my channels here running so that I can follow your comments and, engagement with us. So please do engage with us. Let's get this conversation. The coalition, the implications for about what does that mean, what's going on, and stuff like that. So, right. So today we're going to be digesting that. We're also going to be asking ourselves what happens to the AZIMIO coalition, which way next for how things the day goes. Today is the deadline indeed. All right, so welcome to the show. Give us your comments. Let's engage on this subject. Whatever you have to say, let's know, and let's share it with others. And welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, Godfrey, let's start from the beginning. Yesterday was very eventful. As Kenya Kwanza formally now announced the selection of the running mate. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is the man to deputize DP Ruto. And what are the implications?
First of all, as we had discussed last week, you remember, I had alluded to you that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua seemed to be the favorite amongst the pool of candidates that Kenya Kwanza had, based on certain factors that we had discussed. Some of them we shall look at them again. Yes, the choice of the running mate in Kenya Kwanza was always going to come with consequences.
Right.
Some were going to be happy, some were not going to be so happy.
Right.
Yes, equal numbers from central Kenya that the Deputy President, Honorable William Ruto, is desperately looking for. There are some who actually also believe that voting bloc. Yes, because there was some level of political apprehension that should the running mate have not come from central Kenya for Kenya Kwanza, they would have lost massively the votes in central Kenya. Yes, so that for many observers has been seen as a safe bet. Yes, but if you look at political events from back then, you will see that amongst all of the Deputy President's political lieutenants, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua stood out for a number of reasons. Political numbers, as we talked about finances, you need to be able to drive your campaigns comfortably without having to experience financial hurdles along the way.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to note that the theory, the general narrative that has existed, for a long time. I mean, since these two main candidates began, the debate about Mount Kenya, I think it's been proved that if you don't take care of Mount Kenya, so that theory has been proved. Meaning that maybe we could say then the AZIMIO, and we'll be returning to the AZIMIO equation, perhaps also have to do something about Mount Kenya. It's probably going to come down to Mount Kenya. That's the mountain that must be climbed.
Godfrey, I can assure you in certain terms today that the running mate of Raila Odinga, Honorable Raila Odinga, will come from Mount Kenya.
Okay.
Today.
All right.
Yes, and that has been necessitated by the fact that Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Senior Counsel, has been a very uncomfortable child in this agreement.
Okay.
Yes. And as we saw yesterday, Wiper Coalition has already made an application in court to politically secede from the AZIMIO coalition.
Okay.
Yes, and the agreement. Will he succeed in this? We shall look at this much later.
Okay.
But just coming back to finish with the issue of Kenya Kwanza, yes, there was always going to meet that Honorable William Ruto made yesterday.
Yes.
Too many, as I've said, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua remained the favorite, and I think we also talked about this last week.
Okay.
But apparently now it emerged that there were actually some other candidates who were actually equally as if you look at his political base yesterday across all media outlets, there was a lot of discontent in the greater Meru, yes, or is it Tharaka-Nithi?
Yes.
There was a lot of
the
this
famous Tharaka-Nithi.
Exactly.
As you know, Tharaka-Nithi is known to be a new major force.
Yes.
Well, famously, 2007 waited for about 3 days, and then when the Tharaka-Nithi votes came in,
that was the famous Tharaka-Nithi.
The famous Tharaka-Nithi. So Tharaka-Nithi has that sort of fame.
Yes.
And so, unfortunately, Professor Kindiki wasn't, selected, pulled into that. So the Tharaka people and the greater Meru people may actually feel like...
they're feeling aggrieved.
Aggrieved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because they believe that their son was, befitted all the credentials and all the qualifications that the deputy president has been looking for.
Okay.
But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. As you know, in politics, a lot of factors are considered. By the time they're narrowing down to a certain candidate, a lot of factors must have been considered and placed on the side. And the pros against the cons weighed, a lot of consultations, behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
So Professor Kindiki lost out in terms of being the preferred running mate, but he hasn't lost out politically. Okay. As the Kenya Kwanza coalition has alluded yesterday, he still has a major role to play. Okay. In actual sense, Professor Kindiki said he will make a statement today. In my opinion, I do not expect him to cross over to AZIMIO coalition.
Right.
Yeah, AZIMIO One Kenya coalition.
Right.
Based on the fact that he was not the preferred choice. Yes, but we shall see. We shall wait for that today. And see to it what he has to say. So it is about, just like you said, it is about protecting this one resolute voting bloc called Mount Kenya.
Right.
And from the onset, it was always obvious that the two main political protagonists in this forthcoming election, that is the Honorable Raila Odinga and the Honorable William Ruto, were always keen on a candidate from the mountain.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And there are so many interesting, twists and turns in terms of how things are turning out.
Yes.
One of the things that is puzzling for me is the fact that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is a first-time MP, in Parliament.
Yes.
But I think in terms of his ability as a go-getter, someone who really gets what he wants, I think that guy has the power, the passion. In fact, I was just reviewing some, clip somewhere where he's describing himself as, he said in his own words, passionate, committed, the passion. Somebody who has what it takes. Yes. He thinks that decision was based on what you bring in terms of passion to the table and the hunger to get things done. So I guess if that is what Gachagua brings on the table, then I guess that's what it is all about.
Well, Godfrey, in terms of political experience, mainstream political experience, yes, this is Rigathi Gachagua's first term.
Yes.
In Honorable Gachagua's experience with government spans a lot of years.
Okay.
It dates back to actually the early 90s when he served as a district officer in what is now Kakamega County. He served as actually the PA to the current president, Uhuru Kenyatta. So his experience, you know, with political players in this country is vast.
Okay.
He knows what government administration is all about.
He knows the intricacies, the back door.
He's well versed about that.
Absolutely.
So for him, it's not only about the administration.
Okay.
So he brings all that. And maybe all these factors combined, President, to have him as his running mate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Of course, compared to Professor Kidiki, who is coming from the academia, obviously, maybe, you know, he doesn't have... and you know, it's difficult to say what somebody doesn't have, you know, because you don't know. It is very difficult, yes. You can only estimate,
yes.
Say like he's deficient,
yes.
of not having worked down the ranks, you know, DO level.
Yes.
DO. Kidiki hasn't worked in public administration,
yes.
to that extent. And then, of course, he got into parliament, into politics. And it's not that he's bereft of ideas, obviously.
Yes, yes.
As a professor and a very well-educated man, yes. He has the wherewithal, yes. you know, to maneuver. I don't know whether he would be intimidated.
Probably he has got considerable experience, which is almost 10 years.
Okay.
That is vast compared to, in addition to his experience also as a lecturer of the past. He has been Uhuru Kenyatta's counsel, you remember, in the ICC matters,
okay.
you know, that Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto were facing some years back.
Okay.
So he also brings a wealth of experience on his side.
Okay.
But as we said earlier, all these candidates have their own drawbacks.
Yes.
Kindiki has his own. It boiled down to the fact that who brings, which candidate brings the safer bet.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like you know, I would say that the DP had to choose between of the two poisons,
yes.
which to take. You know,
yes.
And you know,
yes. yes. So which one is likely to
be less harmful?
To be less harmful. Yes. If you put it that way.
Yeah. If you look at it from which poison of these two cups of poison
yes.
must I consume?
Yes.
So you have to choose the less poison. Anyway, YouTube channel Victor Minor. If AZIMIO doesn't pick Kalonzo, their goose will be cooked, actually overcooked, since it was already cooked. Kalonzo was a good card to play, make the laws palatable. It's a lot. So we'll be coming back to we'll be answering Victor on his comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're following this conversation. We are AZIMIO. Do their trick today. They have to tell us which way forward. The deadline is actually today for them to pick their running mates for the presidential position. 24 hours is a very long time in politics, and so today you better be ready for a lot of movement in this particular arena. So we are examining, in particular, yesterday's decision and its implication. We see that the deputy president had to make a very, very hard choice. Made to understand there were a lot of calls, 17 hours of back-end leaders making their statements. The likes of Moses Kuria and others, including who else? All the other people who were there. The TSP party leader was there as well. They all made their presentation, but apparently I mean to understand that the deputy president had to make the last call, and we now have that decision in. So thank you for following this conversation. We are talking about the 2022 elections and which way forward for AZIMIO coalition. So Godfrey, returning to the issue of the two choices,
yes.
What is known about, so the decision is done.
Yes.
Hon Rigathi Gachagua is the man.
Yes.
To deputize the DP.
He is the man to deputize the DP.
All right.
Yes.
So what does that card look like? Economics, political dynamics, the hustler narrative, bottom up, what have you. How does that look like?
Like I earlier said, Honorable Gachagua befits all those factors you have mentioned about, especially the hustler narrative.
Yes.
If you look at the Kikuyu nation, it is a nation of hustlers. You look at the businesses that they do. That is the kind of system, business system, that the people want to identify with. A leader whom they believe will be accessible to them, a leader who will actually practicalize the common business policies that they're talking about, into actual eventualities. Yes, so if you look at what Honorable Rigathi Gachagua and the Deputy President are talking about, that is the bottom up. Bottom up basically means that the people on the ground, the small-scale businesses, are uplifted from the level they are upward. Let me not engage in a lot of economics, but that is one of the factors that the Deputy President considered. So if you look at the issue of the political numbers, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is seen as somebody of high political persuasion, especially in central Kenya.
Okay.
Yes, and that is going to be put in the on the test, today and beyond, after AZIMIO names their running mate, whom I expect highly to come from central Kenya also.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it will be a contest of who between Kenya Kwanza Coalition's running mate and AZIMIO's running mate has the power, has the goodwill of the people on the mountain. Another thing is also about the issue of the finances. Finances in politics is something very important, Godfrey.
All right.
You must be able to bankroll your campaigns without discomforts.
Okay.
Without a lot of financial discomforts here and there.
All right.
Yes, in fact, it should not even be something that people discuss. They are facing some sort of financial challenges, bankrolling the people really don't look at. But the issue of the ability to manage your financial campaigns. I don't think Kwanza on their part looked at the issue of the gender card. Right. On a serious note, we had discussed the issue of the gender card last week.
Yes.
And it seemed as if it was a factor, but not so strong. They looked at the other factors ahead of the issue of the gender card.
Okay.
Yes.
And maybe of course the issue is whether there is any chance of a fallout with the prospective female candidates that had been lined up or proposed. Yes. There was a lot of talk about there was
Honorable Anne Waiguru and Honorable Alice Wahome.
Absolutely. Yes. So those two ladies have been really fronted.
Yes.
On the basis of this gender,
the gender card.
The gender card.
Yes, but they seem to have accepted the choice that has been made by the coalition.
Okay.
And they seem ready to work with the choice of the Deputy President.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So maybe perhaps again returning to the issue of the money, the ability to fund the campaigns.
Yes.
So we may not see Kenya Kwanza calling for this 1 million shillings plate breakfast to fundraise for their campaign. But
that was very prominent during the leadership of His Excellency the late Mwai Kibaki.
Okay.
But I highly doubt that we shall see that.
We are not going to go back to to raise 1 million shillings for a plate of breakfast.
Yes, highly unlikely.
Absolutely. So these guys are moneyed enough. They can pay their way around town.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the choice of running mates, and of course today we are going to be focusing on the which way forward for AZIMIO, and that's a big issue. That's a nevertheless, the Kenya Kwanza part of the coalition made their decision yesterday. We're just looking at some of the dynamics around it and what may have informed that decision that is now done, and the implications. So We think that maybe the women, the gender vote, perhaps that has been put on the side, and it's no longer, a matter to, maybe the women will be a better grieved by that. And then, of course, other regions that were thinking that they would be put on the table, perhaps maybe that's something else, Godfrey, you could speak into.
Yes.
Do you think there are other representatives, from the other sides, because Kenya Kwanza, obviously, bringing together, various divisions. They have the Amani side of things. There was a lot of talk about Mudavadi, actually perhaps being a possible candidate. And that card seems to have been quietly removed from the table, as the deadline approached. And I didn't hear much of fallback or anything. Maybe we'll hear it today.
I think prior to Musalia Mudavadi and Honorable Moses Wetangula joining Kenya Kwanza, there was already an agreement that the position of running mates was going to come from Mount Kenya.
Okay.
So they joined the coalition knowing that they had no say, particularly in this position. Having said that, the position of the running mate is not the only position in government. People are making a lot of means out of the position of the running mate. Yes, it is influential. Yes, it is. The position of the running mate is second in command. But there are other very influential positions in government that the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and the Honorable Moses Wetangula will be considered for if Kenya Kwanza win the forthcoming general election. Yes. So I think that matter was settled, and they seem to be very contented with that. And if you heard Musalia Mudavadi's speech yesterday, there was a lot of content on his part with regard to his position in the Kenya Kwanza arrangement. That does not seem to be something that would have brought jitters. Yes. So Musalia Mudavadi he would have been a wild card, a political wild card, the kind of person whom the deputy president would have settled for had there been a stalemate. Had there been a stalemate regarding Gachagua and Honorable Kindiki, who represents the Greater Meru. Yes. Matters well said. Well said. So there you are. Victor is asking here, Antaraka regions, there is a lot of discontentment. Largely on the statement that Honorable Kindiki will make today. Yes. It is presumed will not be changing political allegiances by crossing over from Kenya Kwanza to AZIMIO. He will, it is largely expected that he will move to calm, his people. Yes. There have been no indications, unless something really happens, but there have been no indications that Honorable Kindiki is planning to move out of the Kenya Kwanza coalition to run for presidency on his own. In any case, that will not be possible right now. The deadline has lapsed, or to go to the AZIMIO coalition, which does not seem to be an option for him at the moment. Absolutely. So perhaps to save face, he will probably just, He will stay put. He will stay put, and whether there are other differences that have been in existence, I think they will be solved behind the scenes in the fullness of time. So that's supposed to be, that's perhaps going to be the direction and the options these guys have. Great. So ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are following this conversation, we are looking at the 2022 election. We also have to bear in mind, we have yesterday, we said in politics 24 hours is a very, very long time. Tell us what you think. Tell us where you are on the conversation and the way things are shaping up. The most critical matter right now is who is going to be deputizing the presidential candidate for the AZIMIO, and that decision will have to be made today to submit a name. And so today is really the deadline, and we are hoping and we are waiting to hear the announcement, the formal announcement. So yesterday there was a big rally, and the AZIMIO side of things had a big rally. So perhaps that is something we need to maybe comment on. Apparently, Mother Karua was very, very much in the forefront. Apparently, I made to understand she was dressed exactly the same as, candidate
you know, Honorable Raila. So
a sign of the times.
Yeah, a sign of the times.
Yes, if you can
read my lips.
Yes,
sort of, you remember that phrase?
Yes.
Read my lips.
Yes, yes. Or watch my steps.
Yeah,
yes.
Watch my steps.
Yes. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I can. I'm a bit confident that, you know, AZIMIO coalition is going to name a running mate from the Mount Kenya region. And if we're talking about a running mate from the Mount Kenya region, Honorable Martha Karua stands out. Okay. Yes, stands out amongst all the candidates who are interviewed. And we shall also look at, in terms of the Ukambani vote, that is represented by Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Okay. Yes, and the Wiper political party. Okay. Yes. So in AZIMIO, it seems like, you know, not all parties are fully satisfied. Okay. Yes, not all parties are fully satisfied. But looking at the option that Wiper has taken from yesterday, does it seem viable? We shall look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be asking ourselves how things are going to be shaping up today and in the coming short days as you know, the events unfold and everybody makes up their decision. So don't go away. Stay with us. Stay tuned. We're taking a short break. We're coming back shortly. All right. God bless you.
Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is not just preparation for life. Education is life itself. Great education does not only deliver creative thinkers, problem solvers and innovative minds, but also individuals who are physically, emotionally and spiritually sound. Gospel Light College offers holistic education and much more.
This course or this bachelor degree has really has come in the right time when there's so much need in the community.
My life has been transformed, my ministry has been impacted, and I'm going out there not only to impact the community, but to impact nations.
Search no more. We offer higher diploma, bachelor's and a master's degree in biblical studies and community development. We also offer Greek classes. The May 2022 intake is ongoing. Book your slot today by calling 0748 006112. Gospel Light College, a Christ-like worker for a Christ-like church.
All right, welcome back. This is the Morning Digest, and we are having a conversation today. We are looking at how matters. I think I'm going to be repeating that statement over and over. So this is a very critical point in terms of the formations, the various coalitions, the two main coalitions. One of them, the Kenya Kwanza part of the coalition, named their running mates yesterday. And we have been discussing the implications. Maybe the questions are whether there's going to be a fallout in the Meru side of the Mount Kenya, region. And we are made to understand that there's going to be a press statement by Honorable Professor Kindiki later today, perhaps to clarify issues. And my guest thinks that there isn't much options in terms of running off because, it's too late. So yes, perhaps he would just be on his troops.
Yes.
Then we return now to the AZIMIO side of the issues.
Yes.
So now the running mates, what are the issues? Who is going to come on top of it? There are many very, very possible. And how is the decision going to be? Is it going to just be left down to Honorable Raila to make that decision, or are the troops just going to have to prevail on him and point to the guy and tell him you have to select this person?
Well, first of all, Godfrey, there was a committee of eminent persons that was formed within AZIMIO coalition,
right,
to have interested parties in the position of the running mate to be interviewed, and to present forward their credentials and explain to them why they feel that they fit the bill to deputize the Honorable Prime Minister in the coming elections. So from what we are hearing, there were actually three candidates who stood up in the elections. That was Honorable Stephen Kalonzo, Honorable Martha Karua, and Honorable Peter Kenneth. If you ask me, I don't think Peter Kenneth has the necessary political shoes to match Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Martha Karua.
Okay.
So now boiling down to these two, I think by now it's safe to say that Kalonzo Musyoka will not be considered for this for the position of the running mate, barring last minute consultations and decisions that might come up. Remember, as you've just said, 24 hours in politics is a long time.
Right.
So anything could happen. But as we speak right now, Honorable Martha Karua stands out, you know, as the favorite, as the most favorite to be appointed or to be made the running mate to Honorable Raila Odinga. Remember, this is also mainly about the scramble for the Mount Kenya resolute voting bloc.
Absolutely.
So AZIMIO was a conscious decision on their side. So they have waited, and Kenya Kwanza has made their decision. They're going to make their decision today.
So maybe, and that's the other question, maybe I'm sure some people may want to ask whether now AZIMIO has a much better chance of making a better decision now that they know the card, you know, the Kenya Kwanza, you know, choice, whether that gives them a kind of like space and time and kind of cools the nerves a little bit, makes it much simpler. So maybe you could comment on that.
I think from the onset, as an idea of the kind of person they were looking for the position of running mate.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't think they are going to make any decisions out of panic, you know, right now as we speak. Yeah. Remember, as I'd earlier said, Kalonzo Musyoka and his troops have already moved to court yesterday.
Okay.
Yes. Seeking to secede.
From the
to
coalition.
politically secede, yes, from the AZIMIO coalition. That already makes the road for consultations to be very edgy, you know. And remember, we only have hours, you know, for AZIMIO to make known their stand on the position of the running mate.
Absolutely.
Yes. And may I also point out that if you look at the body language and chemistry of Kalonzo Musyoka and Wiper, the political body language, it hasn't been that of people who have been really committed to the cause of AZIMIO. If you look at the campaigns, they haven't really been participating. Yesterday they Kunji, they were not there. The Wiper brigade was not there. Honorable Kalonzo was not there. So they were in court yesterday, seeking to secede from AZIMIO coalition. So all these factors added, you know, makes it very difficult for Kalonzo to be considered for this position. Yes, and moving forward, it would also be almost like a political obituary for Kalonzo to step out of the AZIMIO coalition right now and purport to go and run for the presidency. This is due to this is due to a number of factors, constitutional factors that will bar him. Yes.
So a number of things have emerged. There has been talk about Kalonzo actually wanting to run, I mean, if he's not selected, there has been, I think it's him who clearly said, if I'm not selected, I'm going to run for presidency on my own. So perhaps, is that properly, legally possible right now on the 16th of May?
That would be improper on the part of Kalonzo, and also the makings of, you know, political disorganization, which hasn't really been associated with Honorable Kalonzo over the years. You see, you can see all this sort of last-minute engagements is not bringing a good image on the part of Senior Counsel Kalonzo Musyoka. And why do I say this, Godfrey? I need to refer you to Section 13(1) of the Elections Act. Yes. Remember that the deadline for nominations, including the presidential candidates, was 8th May. Yes, that has since lapsed. Yes, that has since lapsed. So Kalonzo is time barred right now to say that, oh, we're going to court to politically secede from AZIMIO so that I run on my own. Who is going to be Kalonzo Musyoka's running mate? Let's start from there. Yes. Unless he had an idea all this time. Right. Which will also paint a picture that, you know, he was not completely honest being in the AZIMIO coalition. Yes. So it will also look bad for him. So today, today is the day where he has to, you know, if he had any plan B, that has to be put out today. Honorable Kalonzo has to come out today and declare where he stands. Yes, and declare whether he's going to be part of the AZIMIO coalition, or whether he's going to be a lone ranger, or whether he's considering moving to Kenya Kwanza coalition. Right. Because the options are not many. Yeah, for Honorable Kalonzo. If you look at it. Then another thing, before a nomination exercise is conducted, a political party must inform the registrar of political parties at least 21 days. Yes. Before that decision has been made. Has Honorable Kalonzo done that? No. He is yet to inform us, or he is yet to inform the public, or even you can safely say that certain members of his party maybe do not even have an idea of the same. So you can see why his options continue to be narrow and to be limited. Yes. Then another thing, if Wiper Democratic Party had submitted Kalonzo's name for presidency, why would it not really be accepted by IEBC or the political parties, the registrar of the political parties? It is because they had not nominated him in accordance with Section 13, yes, of the Elections Act. Yes. Then he had already made it public that he was on the AZIMIO One Kenya coalition. Yes. So and he was already seeking to be a running mate. He did not come into AZIMIO saying that he has to be the presidential candidate. That deadline had lapsed. Yes. And this is the same frustration that Honorable Wanjigi had earlier. You see, this is the difference also in between Honorable Kalonzo and Wanjigi. Wanjigi had made it clear that he was going for the presidency. And after realizing that he was not going to get the Orange Democratic Movement ticket or AZIMIO, what did he do? He walked out. And now he has a political home in the name of Safina. So let us look at the last option that Kalonzo might look at, and that is running as an independent. Is this possible? No. He shouldn't even think about it. Why? He must have quit Wiper at least 3 months earlier. Yes. All right. So, you know, as you look at it, the options keep on, you know. So zero. So he cannot be an independent candidate. He cannot be an independent candidate because the law bars him. He should have left by 3 months ago. Yes. If you have a certain political affiliation to any party, and you wish to run as an independent candidate, you must inform the office of the registrar of political parties at least 3 months prior to that. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And then also you must have informed people about the issue of the running mate, you know. So Kalonzo is time barred. Absolutely. Yes. All right. And look at all these factors. Does not make him a palatable choice for the Honorable Raila Odinga. That leaves us with Honorable Martha Karua. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So by principle of elimination. By the principle of elimination. Yes. And by fact. Yes. It's safe to say that Kalonzo disqualified himself. Yes. In my opinion, he should have stayed there until the last minute. Yes. You remember even during the interviews, prior to the interviews that AZIMIO was conducting, there were a lot of jitters from the Wiper side. They were saying, you know, Kalonzo Musyoka cannot be subjected to an interview. He's a senior politician, you know, he's a seasoned diplomat, he's a senior counsel. Yes, we do not dispute all that. But you know, any process that is supposed to come up, you know, with a fair representation must involve interviews. And that is why this committee of eminent persons were brought together, yes, to vet the likes of Kalonzo, to vet the likes of Martha Karua. Martha Karua even recently said that she had no problem being in AZIMIO, even if she would not be Honorable Raila Odinga's choice. And these are the kind of words that, you know, in my opinion, Honorable Kalonzo should have been uttering out there. Yeah, and not making it look like, you know, not making it look like there's always discomfort here and there. Even if there was discomfort, some of these things should be sorted out behind the scenes. I'm not saying that Kenya Kwanza doesn't have its fair share of problems. They do, as we had discussed. But I think Kenya Kwanza, I think they're discussing their issues more behind the scenes if you compare to AZIMIO. So for me, I do not see Kalonzo Musyoka being Honorable Raila Odinga's choice of running mate today. Yes. Barring last-minute decisions, I do not see it happening.
Barring last-minute decision, last-minute horse trading, you know, hard choices, you know. And you know, some of the political mistakes that everybody makes. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you follow this conversation, we are talking about the 2022 elections, which way forward for AZIMIO coalition. And that's the big news today. That's the big focus for, I believe, is going to make and shape the political conversation in the very, very, you know, coming days. And that decision, which has to be made today, is going to have a major implication. So there's still a few questions that are out there. Again, in terms of, should it be Martha Karua? So how does that ticket look like? You know, Raila Martha ticket look like? So that's the other big issue. What sort of coalition what sort of card that presidential bid? What sort of bid is it? What are the issues that they are going to, that would come together? These two guys, maybe I will start off from what I'm thinking. These two guys are reformers. You know, and by the way, they have been on two opposite sides in regard to very critical matters, like the BBI. Martha Karua was on the opposite side. Leader Katiba. We don't want the Katiba mutilated. And then, of course, Raila, who, if she's selected, is going to be as running mate, was on the idea that, no, let's expand the space. BBI is the tool, and BBI is a nice thing. It is the fruit of peace and the negotiations, and if the constitution has to be changed, let it be changed. Let's have a different Kenya. So both sides, you know, Martha representing the old reform agenda, which culminated in a new constitutional order, and then Raila kind of like coming up with the new reform, old reform. So maybe those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts about the card that these two?
A Martha Karua choice as running mate for exhibited a number of factors. The obvious one, of course, being the gender card that AZIMIO will have looked at. This will endear, of course, especially the women of this country to the AZIMIO One Kenya you know, coalition.
Alliance,
yes, because it will open up space. It will open up space for women, and there will be hope. You know, there will be hope that, you know, a Raila Odinga government, you know, will create an expanded expanded opportunities for women in this country. Okay. The buck will not just stop with Martha Karua, and that there will be more appointments in government, especially for women, and this will guarantee more empowerment. Another thing that Martha Karua has been associated with is, of course, is the struggle for reforms, as you have just mentioned. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. And the will to have a democratic government, democratic space, you know, a country whereby people can engage politically, you know, without having to suffer any kind of political consequence. Okay. Yes. So you look at that, and that's another tick. Mm-hmm. Now, the obvious one is now on the political numbers. Right. Yes. Okay. The obvious one is on the political numbers. Yes. Between Honorable Martha Karua and Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Right. Yes. Who will carry the day? All right. Yes. Who will carry the day? Okay. Opinion polls seem to suggest that Kenya Kwanza is ahead. Mm-hmm. Of AZIMIO, especially when it comes to the issue of the Central Kenya voting bloc. Okay. Yeah, but in my own opinion, I don't think that Central Kenya is likely to vote in one basket, mm-hmm. as we have seen over the years. Yeah. So it is a scramble. It is a scramble. Absolutely. It is likely to be almost 50-50, right, or 60-40. Mm-hmm. Yes, because AZIMIO is going to get its fair share. Okay. In Central Province. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And moving a bit back to Kenya Kwanza has to put its house in order with specific reference to the Meru community. Okay. They have to assure this community that they still have a big part or a big role to play in the coalition if they form government. Okay. Yes. So mm-hmm. if they are not able to assure them, then AZIMIO is going to reap big. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. AZIMIO is going to reap big from Kenya Kwanza's weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So they have to seal these loopholes, okay, to ensure that, you know, the race remains tight, mm-hmm. you know, in the scramble for Mount Kenya votes. Okay. Yeah. So getting back to Martha Karua, yeah, we know also she's an experienced politician. All right. She brings a wealth of experience. She has served as a minister. Mm-hmm. She was once a minister for justice. Right. She served as a minister for water. Yeah. So she brings experience in terms of administration, mm-hmm. and she understands the workings of government. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Having been in cabinet, as constitutional minister for constitutional affairs. Minister for constitutional affairs and also minister for water resources. Okay. Under in the Kibaki government. Okay. Yes. So she brings a wealth of experience in terms of that. She's also a seasoned politician. Mm-hmm. You know, she's very popular with her people in Gishugu. Mm-hmm. Yes. So she's a choice that is widely accepted from where she comes from. Absolutely. Yeah. So it is not a matter of her trying to force herself back into the political space. She's been widely accepted in Central Kenya, and that's going to be a boost for the AZIMIO coalition, mm-hmm. if she is chosen. Okay. Yes. Apart from that, she's also, you know, a qualified person in terms of, you know, her own intellectual capacities. She's a senior counsel. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Yeah. Many years experience, you know, right. Okay. Working as a legal practitioner. Okay. So all those factors, you know, brought up together, mm-hmm. make her a very, very formidable choice for the AZIMIO One Kenya coalition. Plus, of course, plus the other thing that needs to be mentioned is that she's known as the Iron Lady. Iron Lady of Kenyan politics. So, you know, Kenyan politics, the no-nonsense, never say die. Yes. You know, and by the way, one of the things that I think is very profound about, you know, Martha Karua's political career, yes, is how consistent she has been in hanging on to NAK Kenya. Yes. She's been on NAK Kenya. She's never, you know, I mean, since she actually got hold of leading NAK Kenya, mm-hmm. she's been very consistently, you know, driving that political party. The party has not lost relevance. It has always had, you know, representatives in various, you know, in parliament, and I think in the last two parliaments. Mm-hmm. Plus, I think the 2008, you know, parliament, I think they had some members of parliament. Mm-hmm. So I think
she's been very, very consistent.
She's been very consistent, and she also has an advantage that, you know, women have actually expressed support for her. If you've seen recently, political leaders such as Honorable Charity Ngilu and other members in even her party and the wider AZIMIO coalition have been expressing support for her. You look at outfits like Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization have expressed support for her to be named as the running mate, you know, to the Honorable Raila Odinga.
Right.
So that gives her an edge, you know, that gives her an edge over any other candidate that could be considered within AZIMIO.
Absolutely.
Yes, so
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the endorsement bit of it, I think, was a very, very big, you know, it puts a lot of weight on Mother.
Yes.
And by the way, Kalonzo hasn't received any endorsement other than by his inner circles,
yes.
Who are not actually just endorsing him, but demanding that no, if you don't select our man, there are consequences, including going to court. Although, of course,
Kalonzo definitely comes with a voting block. That is not in dispute. But the issue of endorsements and the issue of proper political positioning, I think he has done poorly.
Absolutely.
Yes, he has done poorly lately, and he needs to re-strategize or to restructure when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
This is actually we at the 11th hour. We're the 11th hour where at this moment he should be rallying his troops to have him supported, not to cause divisions within a certain coalition, and in this case the AZIMIO coalition, whereby now we are the stage whereby the running mate should be named, and then we go to the field and meet our political adversaries in Kenya Kwanza.
Absolutely.
Yes, so
absolutely.
he should be doing much more in terms of political engagement, and even if he wanted personal engagement with the Honorable Raila Odinga and His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, as he had said, there are better ways to do this. I think Honorable Kalonzo can access, you know, these two leaders, yes, at any point if he wants,
absolutely.
Yes, and not through what is seen as intimidation or threats, you know, that has been circulating widely on social media and the mainstream media.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. Yeah. So, Godfrey, thank you very much for those wonderful insights. Yes. There is a question. Victor Minor here asked, "What is the most likely move Hon Kalonzo will make after Hon Kalonzo to make after if he is not picked for him to remain relevant?" So
I think what is most likely to happen, if it will actually emerge that Honorable Kalonzo is truly disgruntled by the choices that AZIMIO will make later today, he might just decide to sit out. You know, and not actively engage in AZIMIO campaigns, and wait for the results of the elections, and that is when he will make a political decision with who to engage in, depending on the outcome of the elections in August. But at this point, as I've explained to you, a lot of constitutional provisions limit Kalonzo's options. He does not really have you know, too many choices in terms of having a gate pass to a different direction. And even if he was to take a different direction right now, I think the way the political mood is shaped and the political roads have been shaped, it is either Kenya Kwanza or AZIMIO. So trying to create a third force right now within the political space, it will be like trying to shuffle deck chairs on a sinking ship.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. There you are. Yeah, there you are. For Kalonzo, it might be a sinking ship, and rearranging the deck chairs won't be of any much help. That's the take by my guest here as we wind down this particular conversation as we comes towards the end of this discussion here on Elevate TV Monday Morning Digest. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, you are learning and you're engaging on these matters politics. And like we said, 24 hours is a very long time. We see how things shape up. Remember, the decisions that are going to be made today have major implications in who gets to lead this nation come August 2022 after the elections on the 9th. And those of you that are, that wish to see Kenya progress, I think this is the time for you to pray for this nation, to pray for our leaders, to pray and believe God, and also perhaps make your voice known and make sure that you don't sit by the wayside and watch as things shape up. So finally, as we wrap this up,
yes.
So whatever happens today, by tomorrow we will know how the two political coalitions stand out, and then we're going to see the launch of major campaigns.
Yes.
One of the things you alluded to, that money is going to be a major issue. Which coalition is properly funded, and which one, will need perhaps to put its act together. Both coalitions, the leading coalitions, actually, I think have financial heavyweights.
They are properly funded, both of
they
them.
have financial heavyweights.
Yes.
They might call us for a 1 million shillings plate breakfast.
Well, that
if
will
you're invited, please do appear, sir.
Yes, but that will
pay
just
for your plate.
That would be a PR exercise,
Right.
Yeah, just a formality,
Right.
But these two coalitions are actually properly, financially oiled, if I should say. Yeah, these are things that they had already planned for.
Okay.
So much is not really expected in terms of financial challenges between these coalitions.
Okay.
I cannot speak for independent candidates, but when it comes to these two coalitions, I can authoritatively say that
they can raise the money.
yes, that they have arranged themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think the other thing we need to note as we finally come to the end of this, what is different this time round in terms of facing a general election? What is your feel of the atmosphere? Is it acrimonious? Do you see, violence in the horizon? I mean, forget about what happens after the 9th, but before then, do you see a kind of a proper, whatever Kenyans have always desired, an electioneering and campaigning period that is clearly, I would say, amicable, nothing to fight on the street about. You go your way, you have your rally, wherever you have your rally on the other side. I know sometimes when people, two groups meet together, the people tend to, some of the goons, some of the people, I don't want to call anybody a goon, but some of the people, within the melee of that, excitement, tend to kind of cause chaos, for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But largely, do you see a largely peaceful campaign period?
On the political spectrum, largely there will be a peaceful campaign. Yes, there might be one or two situations whereby, the supporters of the two main coalitions might meet and clash.
Okay.
But we do not anticipate a situation whereby it will be a bloody affair.
Okay.
Constant fights on the road. The main consensus is that we want to have peaceful elections.
Okay.
And I think both coalitions are committed towards that. That is also inclusive of the independent candidates out there and other political parties that have presented their candidates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we do not anticipate or fathom a situation whereby people will be killing each other, people will be attacking each other. And attacks also mean verbal attacks. Some of them can even be on social media.
Right.
We are keen to, I think the country generally is keen to ensure that the campaigns are mature, they're issue-based, and the winner should be supported in running affairs of the country, and the runners-up or the losers. Let me call them the runners-up, because they will be engaged in the political discourse and in government in one way or the other.
Okay.
Yes, they should be able to accept and maybe try another day. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's a very long list, as you know,
Yes.
of Kenyans who are seeking the top position. I don't know what the numbers stand like right now, but it's going to be a very long list.
In terms of presidential candidates,
Yes.
I think there are almost 45 independent candidates out
right.
there. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It would be actually interesting to have some of them come to explain, their manifestos, agendas. Yes.
Who do you see coming number 3, number 4? Those two, the next closest, candidate after these two main coalitions?
It would be very Wanjigi. I am not so sure.
All right.
Well, Jimmy Wanjigi is the he's the next high profile.
Plus Agano Party.
There is also a Agano Party with David Mwaure, who is also there. Those ones may
there is also
they may
Ruben
form.
Kigame.
Yes, there's Ruben Kigame, who actually made it clear that he is still on the race.
Right.
Yeah. So they will form the rest of the pack.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And now, of course, ANC leader, who actually last time he got 500,000 votes, is not on the card.
He's not in the race.
It is Charity Ngilu
is not in the race.
Martha Karua
is likely to be a running mate.
And he's not in the race.
Yes.
Honorable
Peter Kenneth
is not in the
race. Honorable Kalonzo
is not on the race.
50-50. Let us wait and see what he will tell us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I think that kind of, so the coalition mix actually kind of like really is narrowing us down to what we see in the US and other developed countries, where you have just two major political parties.
Two major political parties.
And everybody else, scrabbles for whatever else.
The others just make the numbers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, great. Absolutely. This is an amazing conversation here on the Monday Morning Digest. We are talking about matters politics, and clearly I think Kenya is coming of age. We have two major coalitions, and we see them going neck to neck for the leadership of this nation, and we will see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to wrap this up. We've come to the end of this particular show. Thank you very much for staying tuned in. Wherever you've been watching from, those of you that have been on the social media platforms, Purity, Precious Comfort, and others, thank you very much for staying tuned in. And we will see you another day. This has been your host, Godfrey Gishoki, and my guest, Godfrey Isolio. And we are saying bye. Have a great week, and see you next Monday, same time, same channel. Keep it Elevate TV. God bless you.